Hello and welcome to this EP Template Studio walkthrough. Today I'm going to talk about tables, columns, and rows. Okay, and when you're creating a template with the EP Template Studio, the basic structure of a template starts from a table, and then a column, and then a row, and then you can embed in components inside of a row. Okay, so I think this video will help you get started. First off, I'm going to click this button. It's our expand button to expand all of the elements trees. I guess the element tree, so you can see a visual representation of what you have in your template in the canvas area. So notice it's blank. That means we do not have currently have any tables or components or rows or columns in here. So I'm going to start by clicking and creating one right now. Notice that when you create a table, if I expand it, you'll see that there are it already created automatically other child elements inside of it. It starts with the column and then a row, and then you can actually add a component. I have videos discussing what these components do and how you might, why you might add one of these to your template. But I'm going to go ahead and focus on what this video is about, and it's about the main structure of your template. Notice when I added a table, it created the table here, and I'm going to go ahead and add 3 of these tables so you can see what happens when I add a table. So I have 3 here, and notice that they're blank. It looks like it's blank. That's because I have preview mode turned on. Preview mode is basically, when that's turned on, it is a visual representation of what your template will look like on your specific tablet. Okay, right now I don't have a specific tablet format selected, but I'm going to go ahead and do Remarkable Paper Pro, and I'm going to make sure that it's on the left, and I'm going to turn off the preview mode so you can see the borders around elements here as I'm creating them. So let's expand these out, and I'm going to do this right here, and I can also scale this down so you can see the entire table in view. I'm going to make this one larger, and notice that it may appear that I'm not able to drag this very well. That's because I have this the browser zoomed out, so you can actually see what it looks like from the entire view in this video frame. So it's actually easier to select items and scale them once you're using this in the wild. Okay, so once I have 3 tables selected here, I can go back in the element tree here, and I can see that I have 3 tables, and I just select these. Notice as you get this black border around, and then you see what the properties you can do for this specific table. I'm going to lock this. I can add a border around it. You notice it's adding padding around it, I'm sorry. And I'm going to actually pull this out. I'm going to take it off. And I can do that to all of these different tables. Okay. So inside of a table, you have a column. So column is the first child element inside of there. And what you can do with the column is you can add a header. Okay. You see this accordion here. If I go in here, I can add a header to the top. I can say column header. Okay, this could be anything, but I'm gonna, for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna name that column header. So I can increase the font size. I can expand the header. Make this lowercase to make it look a little bit better. I can, if I could spell, that would help too. I can make this larger. I can add padding, so let's add a little padding to the left so that it's not butted up against the left there. I can add a little padding to the top, and there you go. So I have a header in my column. So if I select in here, notice that it says row, because like I said, there is, in the structure, you have a table, column, and a row. So the innermost element is a row. That's the last one that you can create if you don't have a component added in here. So it goes table, column, row, and you have a breadcrumb here. You can navigate back through the various elements here so that it makes it easier when you want to change these on the fly and move around quickly. You can go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's make sure column is selected, and I can actually change the background pattern of this column. Let's make it a grid. Okay, you notice that the header is staying there and has that background selected. Let's pull that, make that the height of that a little bit larger. Okay, and we can also colorize this. You notice as I'm dragging it, it actually will colorize this for black and white. But on the Pro, as we know that it does support black color, so what I could do here is click in here, and I could actually change the color of these headers as well. Okay, and you can do that for pretty much any of the elements that have this little box here. You can actually set that. But I'm going to make this black and white, so I'll go back in here. I can also, in the body, okay, you have in a column you have a header and a body. Okay, the header is what this looks like, and a body is what this looks like down here. So you can change the pattern of a background of the body. Right now I have the grid, so you can change the size of the grid. You can make it darker. Okay, you can change the background. Okay, and let's leave it transparent. You can actually change the height. Now the height of this is in percentage. So you notice that there. I'm changing a column and I'm saying that I want it to be 50% of the table, but let's just always, I'm going to make it 100%, so as I drag this down, it's always going to stay 100% with the table. Okay, so let's select the other column, and I'm going to make this a line background. Okay, I'll make this line background, and I'm going to make sure that the foreground is set to a color so it shows up, and I'm going to change the line height. Notice that it shows you what it would be in millimeters. So when you create this, you can kind of give an idea of how the spacing is for a specific line section. I can make this small, I can make this large. Let's leave it like that. And then the final one, I can actually add this dots if I wanted to. You can't see them right now, but let's just make them a little darker. And then let's make them the spacing of those larger. And then I can also, let's make this smaller here. And let's add another one so I can show you all the different options here. So let's make sure we're in the right table. Okay, we're in this table here. So let's see, let's add another column. Actually, let's not add another column. Let's add another table. I'm sorry. So now we have the table here. Let's make sure that this is smaller. You have a table here. Let's bring this up into view. There we go. That's actually the column. Let's bring that up into view. Let's delete this column here. Let's bring this down, and then we will add another type of column of pattern. This is called the table pattern. As you bring the line height, you can see how it moves there. We can change the background of that just like the other ones. We can make this darker. Now let's change this one and make it, let's see, I think we've shown all these. So let's turn this off. If you click that, it'll turn the background to none. And then, like I said, you can change the padding of this. When you set the padding of these columns, or the row or the column, it's always going to appear like it's not doing anything because you don't have anything in here. When you're messing around with the background, it's not really affected by the actual background in here, because the background is actually floated in the background and it's layered on the lowest level. If that makes any sense. Okay, so let's hide this real quick, and notice I have this structure now. I can drag this down and it actually will expand to the available width. I can add a header here as well, just like on the other one. Let's call this header 2. And notice I'm in the row. You see that? It's actually creating space for, you can also add a header to the column as well. Okay, so if I click this and now I'm in the column, I can actually add a header in there too. So you see how it's making a space. So you can have a header in a row, you can have a header in a column. Okay, there might be instances where you want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. So if I delete this out, it's going to remove that header. I'm only going to keep it in the column here. Okay. Now I'm going to colorize this to black again, and then on the left I'm going to add some padding, and I'm going to set the line height to a little bit larger so it matches the other one. I don't think it, let's make sure that that is right. You don't have to actually use these scroll bars. You can actually just put the number right in. If I hit 40, it's going to move it. And that's the same way for all of these fields. If I want to make this a different color, let's say one gray, you can do it that way. But I'm going to put it back to black. And that's just 6 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what you can do, if you have a particular theme, what you could do is just copy and paste this, and then paste it in. Let's say we want to change this to be the same color, this header here of this row. So we go back in here, and let's see. We set this to the background, the header. We got to go back in the header, and let's make sure we're in the right one. We're in the column. That was in the column. And we're going to set the background to be, looks like we're going to go in the header again, I'm sorry. So we're going to make the background to be black. Okay, notice I clicked that, and then now it's selected, set the color of that. I can, like I said, when you create these templates, you probably want to stick with some kind of a theme, but you're the author of this, you're the creator, you can do what you want. So this video is basically how you might structure your template. You can also, let's say I want to add another column in here, right? If I hit this duplicate column, what it will do is duplicate what you have in here, so you can create some kind of a table view. You see that? I can expand. Let me just get it a little bit larger so you can see what's going on here. You see, I can go back in here now, and I can change this to maybe, let's see, in the column. That used it in the column. So let's go back in here and say Monday. Let's go back onto this column. And this is a really cool navigation thing. It's a breadcrumb, so you can always go make sure you're editing the right object. Okay, so let's go to Tuesday. Let's change this to the column header to Wednesday. Okay, and then this go. So you get the idea. What you could do is basically create some kind of a table for each day. I mean, it's up to your creativity. We're creating these elements for you, so how you might use this might be different, obviously, for the use case that you're creating a template for. But just keep in mind, if you ever want to see how it looks, you just put it on preview mode. You can scroll your mouse out, click if you have something selected, and then when you're done, just hit download, and then it will actually create a template to the right size of the device that you have. And then you can use one of our template installers or binder to put it on your device. Okay, so that's pretty much in a nutshell of how to create tables, columns, and rows. If you have any questions, or if you have a suggestion, to say you found a bug that we didn't find out, just send it here. Our developers are monitoring this all the time, and we'll get back to you. And if it's a bug that you found, it's a bug that we know about, and we're working constantly to fix this. So please have patience. If you find something, don't unsubscribe, because that just to the service, that just prevents us to actually increase this and make this better. We're not a type of company that just creates something and creates trash. You know, if it doesn't work, we want to make it work for you. You are the users, and we want to create this for you. I use this all the time. So I want to make this service work really well. If you have any questions, don't forget to subscribe below here, as we're going to be creating more help videos on how to use the template studio. And if you have any comment at all, feel free to leave it below. We'll respond most time within an hour sometimes, or even 24 hours. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for trying this product.